Včera skvělý. Děkujeme.
Super, díky moc. Díky. Díky.
Tak se daří a
Czech Republic, number 33 and goalkeeper Pavel. Number 3, defense number 3, Marco Budas, and number 8, Ivo Duda. Forward, number 26, Mikael Redlich, number 12, Marek Kratzer, and number 10, Roman Karenka. And the starting lineup for Team Belarus, number 79 and goalkeeper Isan Kuss. Defense, number 55, Pavel Morovi, number 51, Stefan Tarkovsky, and forward, number 15, Artem Demkov, number 17, Yegor Jankovic, and number 16, Jim Platz.
It is Friday night in Copenhagen. Welcome inside Royal Arena. It all began a week ago, and a lot of changes since. Some bad changes for Belarus, some great ones for the Czech Republic. Sergei Pushkov now behind the bench after Dave Lewis was asked to step aside after 3 games. Meantime, David Krejci, David Pastrnak coming over, and what a performance in the building last night against Russia. An overtime thriller. And tonight, your starting goalies, the Czech Republic going back to Pavel Francouz, who beat Slovakia 3-2. Vitaly Trus getting the start for the Belarusians. He's had a tough tournament. He was on the roster last year, no starts. He has 1 loss in this tournament, a goals against of 6, and Francouz beat Slovakia. He beat the Swiss. He led the KHL in save percentage for the 2nd year in a row. Plays at Chelyabinsk in the KHL, and we are underway on a Friday night. And right off the hop, Cervenka looking to get sprung in. And once again, Mike Johnson, it doesn't matter if it's Pushkov behind the bench or Dave Lewis. They're juggling the lines, and the top line, the 15, 16, 17 line, Demkov, Sharangovich, and Platt.
Yeah, they're trying to find an answer, and they're hoping to get some production like Pastrnak gave the Czech Republic last night. Krejci and Pastrnak parachuted in and were the heroes in their overtime victory over Russia.
That's the theme song. We've heard that song a few times here, Heroes, and they certainly actually were showing up. Not a lot of rest and getting the job done last night. As that's sent across, and Lubor Silak let it go. Can't miss him from the blue line. He's got the hair flowing out of the helmet. As the puck bounces on the near wall, Belarusians able to chip it out. And there is Ratko Gudas of the Philadelphia Flyers back to touch it up for an icing call.
A little conversation between Jeff Platt and Ratko Gudas. Jeff Platt has been pretty chippy in this tournament, so an offense's own face-off tired line, and look who comes out of the gate for the Czech Republic. That first line of Krejci, Pastrnak, Yashkin. They were so good last night. You almost wondered at some point.
Pastrnak off the draw, gets it towards Trus, steers that aside.
They don't get a little bit tired at some point. Jet lag kicks in somehow. I mean, Pasternak's young, but to do what they did and then not feel any effects, crazy.
And how excited are you if you're Yaskin as Pastrnak again cuts up and fires in his first World Championship? Dmitry Yaskin, you're going to play with these 2 guys for the Boston Bruins.
Yeah, he won the lottery. He played pretty well in the games these guys weren't around, but he fit in perfectly with Pastrnak and Krejci because he understands what they need. And what they need is the puck and a body to get in on the forecheck and on the front of the net. And if they get enough room to dance, then they are very dangerous. And that's what they did last night.
Pastrnak, 80 points in 82 games for the Bruins this season, and a beast in the playoffs. He led his team with 20 points in 12 games played, and obviously he's got some hockey left in him. He's 21 years of age. He'll celebrate a birthday later on this month, and we'd love to celebrate with a World Championship medal around his neck. David Skalinka behind his own net will play it up for the Czech Republic. How was the energy in the building last night, Mike?
Off the charts. The Czech Republic fans travel so well. They filled up the building last night against Russia, and it was a sold-out game and lots of buzz in the rink.
Nice to see young Netjas back in the lineup. The last time we were calling the mic, I was over in the other group for a couple of days. He took that hard spill into the boards, and how did he look in his return back on the ice?
Looked healthy. A more difficult game playing against Russia because Russia challenges you defensively, and I think that's what Netjas's next level of growth will be. Play without the puck a little bit better against good players. With it, he's great. Without it, he still needs a little bit of work.
First rounder of the Carolina Hurricanes had an amazing goal to tie things up as Thomas Plekanec was parked in front and just tipped that wide. Early in the tournament, that was a big goal with 10 seconds left to send it to overtime, and the Czech Republic a win over Slovakia. As the player is down on the far wall and slow to get up, and play is going to be whistled down. And that player is Nestor Saul.
It doesn't look good the way he's holding his right shoulder and arm beside his body. Simple little finish here. Oh, he got his wrist also rolled up. Watch his right wrist get bent up as well as his arm being caught up above his head. He's headed right to the dressing room. And holding the arm. Well, he's going to take a little detour to the bench. Talk to the team doctor there. I hope that he's going to be okay.
128 career NHL games for Nestor Saul. He's on the line with Plekanec and Horak for this game, so we'll see what the head coach Josef Jandek will do, as he might have to sort things around and shuffle the lineup. But obviously, what an addition for the head coach to have these two players from the Boston Bruins coming over. By the way, Charlie McAvoy making his debut, another Bruin, but the Americans tonight against Korea, he will start. And Nick Bonino also will be joining Team USA.
Waiting on the European-based Nashville Predators decisions. Apparently the Swedes on Nashville, Forsberg, Arvidsson make their decisions known tonight of whether or not they're coming over. My guess is that they both will, which will give Sweden the same kind of boost that the Czechs got with the arrival of the Davids.
And in Group A, obviously our group, the Swiss, would love a guy named Roman Josi. He would certainly be a nice addition on their back end.
Yeah, Roman Josi, Kevin Fiala, both on the wish list for Switzerland. So we are 4 or 5 games into a 7-game round robin, and yet the teams are still being refined to get the optimum lineup on the ice for the quarterfinal matchups, which come next Thursday. Next facility, you see, head down the tunnel to the dressing room. We get looked at after that hit in the boards.
Proviation won the draw, but controlled by the Czechs as they wheel it up ice, led by Cervenka, and just a step in offside. So, Mike, these additions, the Czech Republic, they were going to battle for a quarterfinal spot, but now, do you like their chances that much more to make some noise here?
Of course. They have game breakers. What the Czechs will always do is defend, be physical, make your game difficult. But what they didn't have was a lot of natural goal-scoring talent, and Krejci and Pastrnak change all of that. Because they defend so well, they don't need a ton of offense. And so whatever they can give them might be enough. They were going to make the quarterfinals regardless, but now they won't be nearly the easy out in the quarters that they would have been before.
Jaskin has it in his skates down low for David Krejci, who absorbs the bump. Then Jaskin thrown behind the nets as he was roughed up behind Cruz. Swung up back to the blue line. That pass near circle for Pastrnak broken up. Nice job, but eventually worked up the other way. And the Belarusians are going to change up behind the play. And it's one of those games, the Belarusians, they can keep it close through the first 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes. Get a few shifts in, but this won't help. Penalty to come. The Czech Republic to go to the power play. Nesterstall the point, swings that across. Extra attacker is out as that was intended for Pastrnak near circle, touched up. And the Czech Republic, the 9th-ranked power play in the tournament, 3 for 14, will get a chance early in this hockey game.
Razvadovsky gets caught on the wrong side of the pile and ends up reaching in. Takes a penalty here on David Krejci. Supporting, he wants to go up the wall, but the puck bounces out to the more dangerous area and can't open into the hands. The obvious hook, David Krejci.
So Faksa to take the draw in this power play. Faksa still battling, Cervenka up to Sulak. As the Czech Republic with a man advantage. Sulak shot deflected off the stick and in their corner as Cervenka tries to get it down low to Faksa, who takes a bump behind the net. Faksa, Cervenka in the mix, swung behind the far wall, and the Belarusians fire down the ice. Kitterov giving chase, and it's right on Pavel Francouz, so he's going to cover it up for a whistle.
A good sportsmanship there from Kitterov, apologizing for the snow shower on Francouz.
Goalies don't like that, Mike?
Apparently not,
okay.
But I don't know what they want me to do. If I skate away, you'll play it, and if I stop in front of you, you get a little snow in the face, and that's a pretty good one. But you have no choice. You want him to stop the puck and blow the whistle, so you have to stop in front. It's just water. It's all right.
I'll tell you, the snow was flying last night in Herning with Connor McDavid on the ice. What a game he had for Canada against Norway. Scored in the first couple minutes, drew a penalty, had the hat trick. He was dynamic. Guys were scalping tickets, Mike, for about 50 bucks Canadian, 250 krone. And I would have paid 50 bucks to watch McDavid anytime on that big ice. I told him I knew Gord Miller, so I knew a double IIHF Hall of Famer, so I got in. So as the Czechs in this power play, Pastrnak stripped of the puck, and the Belarusians shorthanded chance. That whistling shot from Pavlovich, well off the mark. Fired back in, though, as they continue to kill time. A minute to go now in this power play for the Czech Republic. And a scoreless game thus far, Friday night in Copenhagen, Royal Arena. Another good crowd, holds about 13,000 for hockey. The Belarusians in the red jerseys, the Czech Republic, the white jerseys with the blue trim and numbers. As Demkov driving behind the net. Rubbed out by Krejci, started up ice. as Jaskin has his head up. Jaskin back up to Sulak, who swings it across. 25 seconds remaining in the man advantage. Sulak fires in traffic, bouncing puck in front. Oh, Truce, nice job to swing at it, and he keeps it out of the net, and the Belarusians fire it down the ice as Vitaly Truce, his best save of the hockey game. Libor Sulak, one more time, wheels up, drops for Cervenka. He chips it to the near wall. Kubalik back up to the point. Sulak fires, nice kick stop. And the penalty comes to end. Razvodowski back on the ice.
And they'll be going right back shorthanded. I think they're calling Volkovsky for the puck over the glass. And about 5 seconds after the first penalty expired, Volkovsky takes another one and puts Belarus right back down.
51, sorry. 2 minutes for delaying game.
And delay a game, that's it.
Breaking news, Mike Johnson. Korea, a 1-0 lead over the United States over at Harding.
Oh, he put it up over the glass with his hand. He patted it with his hand for the delay of game, so not shot over the glass, but thrown over the glass.
So Josef Jandic and his team back on the power play. The Czechs control. And we'll see if they can generate something with their second power play of this hockey game. Krejci spins. Pasternak waits in front. Bouncing puck, whacked out, another try. And again, Truce makes 2 nice stops as Pasternak is back on it. David Pasternak back up top. Krejci. Krejci circles back around. Back up to the point. Keep an eye on him and Pasternak on this man advantage. Pasternak weaving, backdoor, and that was broken up as Krejci was cutting in, looking to get a shot off with a one-timer. Battle continues, kept in, and another power play to come for the Czech Republic. They're going to go 5-on-3. Pasternak takes the shot, flips in front, and that bounces to the far wall. Hronek picks it up. Hronek drops that back. One-time shot, Pasternak was that high and wide off the glass, and it's kept in.
They're not worried about taking the 5-on-3 by giving it up.
They continue to work with 50 seconds to go in the initial power play. Big shot, knocked down in front, and Netchas was right there, but the young man couldn't get a shot off. Pasternak has it. Back to the blue line. Now Netchas has lost his stick. Pasternak fires, didn't get through. Netchas is going to change up. Play continues, and finally it's touched up. The captain, Alexander Pavlovich, will touch the puck. So, for 34 seconds, a 5-on-3 for the Czech Republic.
And you see the head coach, Sergei Pushkov, not very happy with that development.
Team Belarus, player number 7, 2 minutes holding.
Denisov will go off for the hold. But interesting thought by the Czechs there. They had that puck for about 30 or 40 seconds, knowing that it was going to be a 5-on-3 if they give it up. That's a pretty obvious call as Denisov tugs on Krejci, and chose not to. They just kept playing it around and wasted about 45 seconds of 5-on-3 time, looking to score in a 6-on-4, whose numbers favor the defensive team. And we'll see if they can capitalize now with just 34 seconds left on their 5-on-3.
The Belarusians have the second worst goaltending numbers in the tournament, next to Korea playing in the other group. And Vitaly Truce has been busy. The 29-year-old was on the roster last year at the World Championship, didn't get any action in this, his second start of the tournament. He was in tough in his opening game against Russia, as the Czechs are still figuring out who they want out on the ice.
They wanted Cervenka, but the refs were not going to take it. They made Hronek come back out for Cervenka, and now they're discussing, is it worth pulling Sulak off and putting Cervenka out right away, just standing beside the bench on a change. It doesn't matter because the power play is going to run through those two guys, 46 and 88. Whatever they want to do, they'll do it. Hronek is going to change if they get the face-off right here.
Pasternak battling for the puck. Krejci's got it in the slot. Krejci fires, hits the crossbar. Oh, Krejci nearly cashed in, but he couldn't find the back of the net.
Almost, but nothing for David Krejci, but iron. And he's a passer, but if you give him the spot that close, he will eventually shoot it. And he beats Truce clean off the cuff of his glove, then the crossbar. Got an underrated shot, even though he's a pass-first player.
So the Czechs, 19 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. They set it up one more time. Sulak switching. Krejci feeds it down low. Shot, tough angle. Pasternak couldn't squeeze that through, and it comes all the way down the ice. You know, David Krejci, quite the career. His entire career with Boston, a second-round pick back in 2004. And he drops that off. So now we have a 5-on-4 for 1:20. Pasternak dishes, drives towards the front of the net. Sulak, touch pass. Krejci. Sulak winds up, scores! What a rip for the point. Libor Sulak, power play goal, 1-0 Czech Republic.
Libor Sulak out there, manning the point, the only forward, and he leans on this one. Jaskin, another nice job in front. David Krejci, perfect pass, nice and flat. Sulak leans on it. Jaskin did not get a piece of that one. That will be Sulak's goal for sure. And the Czechs go up 1-0. Taking advantage of all these power plays they've been given to start this first period.
That fan's happy, right? He's got the Korea headband going, so they're up. And
he's a total front runner.
He's got the Czech Republic, and they're up. So you know what? You got to hedge your bets, right?
Korea's tied now, so.
Oh, is it? Is that?
He's going to lose the headband.
Okay, so, I didn't check that. All right, so it's 1-1 in that game over in Herning. Anders Lee tying it up.
And here you see the shot. Question, did Jaskin get a piece of that one? Replay from behind the net looked like it would actually hit Truce's blocker, went through. And Libor Sulak has been a guy who's been noticeable throughout this tournament for the Czech Republic.
Franzus, one of his rare saves here in this opening period. Top line out for the Belarusians as Sharangovich played at the World Juniors in Buffalo, had a strong tournament for Belarus. Him and Shushko, who's also in the lineup for this hockey game. A couple young stars for the Belarusians that we'll see, I'm sure, for many years to come at World Hockey Championships. For them, obviously, the dream is to chase the playoffs in the National Hockey League.
Sharangovich, draft eligible this summer. Someone will be calling his name.
He's ranked 51st, Mike, NHL Central Scouting for European players, and that set up in front. That was the captain, Alexander Pavlovich, playing the setup man, but a nice stop from Pavel Franzus. Before the break, Mike, we're talking about Sharangovich, draft eligible. Well, the Chancellor, Maxim Shushko, decided that he's a fourth-round pick of the Flyers in 2017, and he had a pretty good opportunity. Set up by the captain as the play continues in the Czech zone as Faksa picks it up for the Czech Republic and starts it up ice high, flipping pass for Cervenka as he speeds in, and Belarusian player, I think, took a high stick. He's down. Better a slash.
No, high stick to Cervenka. He knows that he's heading straight to the box. And Brian, while you were gone for a couple days, there was a run of high sticking penalties for every team in every game. It is incredible how careless players have been with their sticks trying to lift another one. And right into the chin of Lisovitz. It's amazing. Time and again, as players are trying to stick check their opposition, they miss on the glove and the stick. And Lisovitz shows the blood, the damage to the dental work, and it's a 4-minute penalty to Cervenka.
Razvodovsky can't win that draw all the way down the ice, right on Vitaly Trus, who plays the puck to Denisov. Denisov trying to advance it, beaten by Horak, and Repik, and a turnover, and Georgia had a chance there, and Skalenka, shorthanded, fires it right on, and Vitaly Trus, pretty good chance. Belarusians, by the way, yet to score a shorthanded goal. They haven't allowed one, at least not yet in this tournament.
Czechs will try to test that as Cervenka sits in the box for 4 or less. And bad habits by Belarus. Everyone focused on the puck on one half of the ice in their own end. And there was a turnover in Sklenika. Way too much room.
Thomas Plekanec, who was moved to the Toronto Maple Leafs at the end of this NHL season, lost in 7 games to the Boston Bruins, and now reacquainted with some now teammates on his team here in the Czech Republic. It's funny how that works out. Swung back to the point. Voroby to Platt. Voroby winds up, tipped just wide as Platt from Toronto, Ontario, got his Belarusian visa a couple of years back and became a citizen, along with Charles Linglet, who wears number 70 for the Belarusians. Platt unable to keep it in, chipped back into the neutral zone. As the Belarusians, they've only scored 4 goals, Mike, this entire tournament, 2 of them on the power play. As Platt, nice job to keep it at the far corner. He's pinned up, and the backhand Voroby, he can't keep that in, and so once again, the Czechs with a full change. What do you make of the coaching decision mid-tournament? I remember that at the World Juniors with Jussi Hokkanen in Finland, but what do you make of it?
Well, they played 3 games. They lost to Sweden and Russia in 2 of them. So were they expecting those to be victories? Obviously not. So basically, Dave Lewis was fired for a bad loss against France, 6-2. That seems like a very harsh standard. 1 off game, 1 bad game, and the coach was replaced. Now, had they lost to Austria and France and Switzerland in succession, well, maybe that's a different conversation, but Sweden and Russia? That's,
right in front, oh, fan on the shot was Razvodovsky. The best look they've had of the hockey game, and obviously in this 4-minute power play, as 2 minutes have now come to an end, and a nice stop from Franzus.
Czechs getting caught over pursuing as well. Nobody in front of the net.
So 4 minutes, nothing happening yet as the puck battle goes behind the goal line. Demkov fighting for it. Jeff Platt racing in, but again, it comes out of the zone into neutral ice. The Belarusians have to reset as Platt wanted Sharon Govich. He can't handle that. Voroby plays pass, picks it up again. Voroby over the blue line. 1:23 to go. Let's see if Platt can get something going. Jeff Platt passes off, gets it back. Platt behind the goal line, setting up shot, swung to Voroby. Shot, never got through in the shin guards, and moved up ice. Here's Horak. Horak dishes towards the net. Horak in front. It came towards him in his skates, and he couldn't get the shot away. Pavlovich, 2 goals, the leading scorer. We only have 4, but the captain with 2 of them in this tournament. He can't keep it in the zone. Battle continues on the near wall. Alexander Pavlovich, it's wrapped in. And Franzus, good work with a stick. Advancing that puck up to Haika. And Truso to play that as Faksa was...
He was in alone if Haika
in.
puts it on him. I think Haika thought Faksa was going to explode through the seam, and Faksa still had it in cruise control.
So only 22 seconds remaining in that 4-minute power play, the high sticking call.
Now we got 6 players on the ice for Belarus. So that will be it for the power play for Belarus. As not only do they not score, they go not on a change, but a full 6 guys out on the ice, 6 on 4. And Sergei Pushkov will not be happy with that. That's just a lack of focus and attention to detail. Is he 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
So that hasn't changed since I was gone. You can't play with 6. They've kept the 5-player rule here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though Belarus sometimes would like to have a 6 out there to have a better shot in some of these games, still not allowed to.
Face off to the left of Vitaly Trus. Just over 6 minutes to go in this first period. As that pass is into the neutral ice area. Good chance here. Cutting into the forehand was Bronze, who could get the shot off towards Franzus. As the Czech Republic. Long shot. That's all the way around the boards. So now it's the Czech Republic with a man advantage for 1:31. Just over 6 minutes to go in this first period. The one goal from Libor Sulak on the power play. As the blue liner chipping in offensively. Krejci has it. He's going to switch up. Krejci, head up, down low. Swing across to Pasternak. He picks it up off the wall and goes back up to the blue line. Krejci. Pasternak fires, and that's stopped by Trus as he let the one-timer go.
Such a good pass from Krejci. Even though he knows Henkel's got to stick out in that passing lane and he's trying to take the seam away, still puts it right in the tape.
Here's Pasternak, head up, drops it off in the slot. Netjas has it, back up to the points. Netjas circles and he drops. Nesterstall at the blue line. Pasternak, cross ice. Nesterstall fires that shot. Oh, big block there in front. As that was actually Hronek that let the shot go. My apologies, Hronek with the big shot in the block. Doesn't matter who was shooting it. It hurt all the same as the captain, Pavlovich, got down there.
Really nice movement, setting up the shot. Hronek's got a big one, and right off the side of the boot as Pavlovich sells out. So that's pretty good sacrifice. There's that pass I was talking about. Even with all the sticks in the seams, Krejci puts the right velocity and loft on it to get it through to Pasternak. Gifted pass over the puck.
Face-off control by the Czech Republic. 25 seconds to go in the power play. Cervenka bumps his man off the puck, and he's got it at the far wall as the Czechs set up one more time. Sulak. Work down low. Back up to Sulak. Sulak fires, tempted just wide. Cervenka jumps on that rebound behind the net, tries to chip it to the far wall, continues to work, and just keeps it in for Netjas, and eventually chipped out. And that'll do it for the man advantage as the youngster Netjas was trying to create something offensively here at Royal Arena. Welcome back to Copenhagen over in Group B in Herning. Welcome to the tournament. Charlie McAvoy, he's scored. Kane has scored. Goudreau assisting on all 3 goals. So the United States a 3-1 advantage now over Korea.
Very comfortable. Their first place bid will come down to their game against Finland, the last game of their round robin. They win it, they get first. If they don't, then the math gets interesting.
And a big one for Canada tomorrow night, Canada-Finland as well. So those 3 teams,
same idea. If Canada beats Finland, then they will effectively lock up second at the worst, and maybe better than that depending on the result of the Finland-US game. And of note, first and second place teams in each group stay in their current location. So You don't have to travel while the 3rd and 4th team from Copenhagen go to Herning. The 3rd and 4th team from Herning come to Copenhagen on the crossover quarterfinals.
Kovacevic taking the draw for the Belarusians as Maxim Shushko was chasing behind the net, couldn't get there in time. Horak directs it towards the corner as Horak skating after it. Swung to the far wall, Radko Gudas on net, in front. Oh, Pakanits is in! Pakanits in front, scores! What a passing play! Pakanits to Horak, 2-0 Czech Republic. How sweet was that?
Roman Horak gets on the board in the tournament with an easy one. But you're right, the passing right from the get-go. Giveaway, nice little pass here from Horak. Pop it back to Thomas Pakanits. I'm not sure if he was stringing out Truce here looking for another pass. But when he had nothing, he shovels one back out front. And look at all the eyes from Belarus staring at Thomas Pakanits. 3 defenders fixated on Pakanits. Nobody looking at Repik or Horak. Either one would be an easy finish. And the puck focus of Belarus leaves Horak wide open for his first.
Last year, Horak had 3 goals and 6 points in this tournament. Second, a team scoring only 2. David Pasternak, who's off to a pretty good start in one game anyways, here in game number 2. The big guns have been quiet, but some nice scoring from some of the other Czech players. Pasternak, the overtime winner, handing Russia their first loss as Jeff Platt is working for the Belarusians, tried to slide it into that near circle. Long shot from distance, swallowed up. Good shot there from Pavel Vorobey. But it is the Czech Republic with a 2-0 lead. Welcome back to Group A action here on TSN NHL Network. Brian Mudryk, Mike Johnson with you. The Czech Republic enjoying a 2-0 advantage here at Royal Arena on a Friday night. Spirited day in the city, fans getting ready for the weekend. And for the Czech Republic fans, as you mentioned, Mike, a buzz in the air after that big win last night over Russia, and that momentum carrying forward into this game.
And the Czechs have the easy road down the stretch. Belarus, France, Austria, the 3 weakest teams. So looks like they're going to be in 2nd place at the worst. Maybe better than that. Which means they would get to stay here and send either Russia or Sweden over to Herning.
And my scouting report from Herning, by the way, so Connor McDavid, still good.
Yeah.
Cool city of about 50,000 people and a real good atmosphere, beer gardens. And I was there when Denmark beat Finland, and the streets, Mike, were wild.
Amazing.
Wild. It was such a great atmosphere. Wraparound try here in front, right from the slot, and that didn't get through, deflected off the stick and behind the net. I'm talking 5:30 in the morning loud, like couldn't sleep loud, but good for them. They were celebrating Freddie Anderson, your player of the game. He's from that city, so pretty special moment for their fans, and one of the moments I'll remember at this tournament going forward, no doubt.
And isn't that why you have the tournament here? To hopefully create that?
Swung across as Krejci plays pass in the near circle. David Krejci slings that across. Big shot. Pasternak waits, fires, and just grazed the bar. He's had a couple looks from that near circle, and he's been loading up.
The seams are being exploited. It's the most dangerous play to give up as a defensive team, and the one you want to create. Across the Royal Road or the crease slot line, whatever you want to call it. You go east to west across the width of the offensive zone for one-timers, make the goalies move, make the defense shot blockers move. That's how you score goals against the good goalies, and the Czechs are having their way with those passes.
Faksa drives that by Cervenka, the one-time Calgary Flame who had a season in the NHL with the Flames. Cervenka always a strong player at this tournament over the years in his 8th Men's World Championship. Over 60 career games and a chance here. Quick shot, scores! Up top. Lovely rip, and what a shot to make it a 3-0 hockey game.
You just said Cervenka, and it was a beautiful little touch pass that sprung Michael Repik. And Repik used laser up top. Stretch pass to a guy slashing it, get Denisov cheating on the poke check. Touch pass to Repik, and he goes that one right off the toe of his stick. Head up, spots it, eyes up. That's a great look at it right there. Not even looking at the puck, looking at the target and where he wanted to place it. Truce on his way down. Repik going up and over the glove for a 3-0 very comfortable first period lead for the Czech Republic.
Michael Repik won a Memorial Cup with Vancouver back in 2007 with Coach Don Hay, and Don recently was the head coach of the Under-18 World Hockey Championship in Chelyabinsk and Magnitogorsk. As Demkov in for Belarus, centering pass in front and deflected behind the net as Sharon Govich was driving towards the net. Platt picks it up. Top line out for Belarus. With a minute to go in this first period. Long shot. That whistled high and missed everything. Platt picks it back up. Back up to the blue line. As Platt swings at it. Sharon Govich. Belarusian changing up behind the play. Lisovits spins and tries to backhand that deep and cannot, but a turnover right in the slot. Quick shot, and Franzus swallows that up off an awful pass. Just slung right into the open.
Heike apologizing to Franzus for that pass. This is how you draw it up. Have one winger cutting across the middle, the other one timing the flyby so that the tip pass can send him in, and Cervenka to Repik to the back of the net. Exactly how you draw it up on the whiteboard.
Repik, his 3rd goal of the tournament. Dying seconds here of this first period, and the fans from the Czech Republic, they are into it early at Royal Arena. That shot, Franzus kicked that aside. Play continues behind the net, and finally some pushback here from the Belarusians. Long shot knocked down in front. I think Franzus got a bit of a glove on it, knocked it down. As time, maybe one last chance. Buchanan's going to the net. Big shot, and off fanning on it at the last second was Adam Polisic, who came in and tried to go grip and rip, and, well, he gripped. Didn't really rip. But it's been all Czech Republic. A 3-0 advantage here at Royal Arena.
Belarus 6, Czech Republic 30. Penalty for Belarus, number 7, Nadia Bishop, 2 minutes, 100. Time 7:33. Penalty for Belarus, number 7, Nadia Bishop, 2 minutes, 100. Time 7:33. 100. Time 7:33.
Welcome back, Friday night, Royal Arena. And Vitaly Trus, your busier netminder in that opening period. The shots 13-6 in favor of the Czech Republic. And it was Pavel Franzus stopping all 6 that he faced. So, Mike Johnson, you got Libor Sulak, Roman Horak, and Michael Repik, your goal scorers. A lot of talk about Krejci and Pasternak, those 7 points last night. Is it nice to see other guys step up offensively?
Great news for the Czech Republic to have different guys contributing, chipping in offensively, getting a little bit more confidence in themselves, and the coach having confidence in them to produce when it matters most. And you'll probably see a lot of guys get pretty healthy on the scoreboard over the next couple of games for the Czech Republic.
Czech Republic 8-0 all time, and a near giveover right there beside the net. A little too cute, but moved all the way up ice for an icing call as Sharon Govich couldn't get there in time. All time 8-0, the Czech Republic over the Belarusians, and interesting, they've been up the main tournament. They haven't gone to that D1 championship and been relegated since 2004, so a lot on the line, even though for them a medal's not in their sights, but they got to find a way to get some points going. Well,
their next game against Austria, that's the game. It's a one-game tournament for Belarus. If they win, then they won't love what's happened in this tournament, but they'll be in it again next year. If they lose, they're done. They'll be relegated down to the first division, which is it. There's a lot of impacts that go beyond just having to play in a different tournament. As far as funding.
Krejci swings out in front and just out of the stick of Jaskin, who's playing on that top line.
Take a look for him. Nestor still as well for the Czech Republic, who had that awkward hit, only played 35 seconds in the first period. Left, did not come back, and I don't know if we see him on the bench, can't quite find him.
As that's chipped up ice to Jaskin. Jaskin with Pasternak. Jaskin skates right through it, and Pasternak, the 21-year-old, filling a bump. David Krejci. Won a Stanley Cup with the Boston Bruins not too long ago, back in 2011. And was the first Bruin at that time to score a hat trick in the playoffs since, you know? Cam Neely.
Cam Neely, his boss, yes. David Krejci's always been a very good producer in the playoffs. He doesn't mind the tight checking, he doesn't mind the physical play. It seems to bring out the best in him, which Josef Jandash will appreciate because they are effectively heading into the playoff part of their schedule.
In 2011, that cup run, and that year they won it, he led the Bruins in playoff scoring. A couple years later, when they lost in the final, he led the Bruins one more time in playoff scoring as well.
And it's just situated perfectly below Patrice Bergeron, so he can do anything defensively, offensively, but he also has one of the very best ahead of him to support.
So him and Pasternak, what an addition, as young Neches was skating in, first rounder of the Carolina Hurricanes. He was buzzing early in the tournament, had some good lucks in their opening game, but is it tough for a teenager, you find, Mike, as this wears on, to keep that level up?
I don't know if it's for a teenager, it's just, this is a man's tournament. And there are exceptions, and Connor McDavid will be great, and Laine's been great, but for most teenagers, it's difficult to play against 25-year-old experienced professional men. They are stronger and a little tougher and make life harder than you're used to playing against your usual age group, even though Neches plays professionally.
As Neches on the move, but brings it in offside.
Yes, he's a first rounder, but there's very good NHL players who will struggle to look good against Russia. There's very good NHL players who won't have an impact against Sweden. So to expect that Neches, because he's a first rounder, because his speed is so electric and lit up Slovakia, you think he can do that every game? There's not many players in the world, let alone this tournament, that can do that every game. So it's important to kind of keep a bit of perspective when evaluating all these players, and the young ones specifically.
Elias Pettersson, a pretty good example too, led the SHL, which is Sweden's top division in the playoffs and in scoring.
The only difference is that Pettersson, Neches, they want to play in the NHL next year. Well, they'll be playing against this demographic of professionals, so they better get used to playing against men and all that that entails.
Turnover right in front to the near circle. Plekanec on net. Bouncing puck tipped and stopped by Trus. He just got enough as Plekanec buzzing early in this game. A couple good looks around the net. How's Pettersson feeling, by the way? I think they held him out. He wasn't feeling well for Sweden.
That kid can't afford to lose any weight. He is already slight as can be. I saw him this morning walking out with the team. going to a team meeting. So obviously he's well enough to be back in the building with his group as Repik just pokes that one wide off the leg of Vorobie. But it looks like he's going to be good enough to maybe play tomorrow.
Right off the hop, Pasternak down low, and Cervenka spins, fires, and that's kicked aside. Cervenka wishes he was a right-handed shot. He could have pulled that in for a goal, no problem, but...
So Pasternak getting double shifted here in the absence of Nesterson. So it looks like he will not be returning in this game, and we'll see what his health going forward.
Pasternak, quick shot, clubbed down as Cervenka was in, but Vitaly Trus holds that for a face-off in the Belarusian zone. Speaking of young, great players, as we look at Pasternak, who had a fantastic playoffs leading the Bruins in scoring. Sebastian Aho, who we've seen at under-18s, World Juniors, at last check, still leads this tournament with 12 points. And a few years ago, it was Laine, it was Austin Matthews. So it's fun to see how these youngsters come up, U18s, World Juniors, World Hockey Championship, and how they continue to perform.
I think it's great for Aho, who's probably not given as much attention as he deserves. Down in Carolina, he is a fantastic player.
That's picked up in the corner by Jaskin. Jaskin, head up, drops for Krejci. As they continue to cycle, that's intercepted. Kitteroff was working. Puck comes to the near wall. Chip back in. Pasternak couldn't accept that as Hronek is now down low. Jaskin, a little cross check on his man as he tries to free that puck, but it's the Belarusians that come away with it. As they drive play to the near wall. Levcha had it knocked off his stick. And right back, the Czechs. Pasternak, drop pass, shot off the bar. Morvachik, oh, can he rip it? And he hit the crossbar and out of play. Another good look, and I think that's about 3 crossbars if you're counting in this hockey game.
Trus's ears will be ringing as the puck finds its way to Moravcic, and just off the corner connection, crossbar post together. Although Trus can't say if that would have hit the net, it would hit his glove, because it almost caught the outside of his glove.
Now Jess out there battling for the puck on the face-off. Chipped out of the zone, and Sharon Govich steps over the blue line, drops for Platt. Platt tries to get it to Sharon Govich. Demkov out there as well. Demkov from the near circle drove it towards the net as the 15, 16, 17 line. It'll be interesting if they're kept together ongoing as Sergei Pushkov leaves his mark now on this team behind the bench, replacing Dave Lewis. Mid-tournament, if you're just joining our coverage for the first time.
You're just trying to find something that you can find some consistency with, some kind of production for Belarus. And again, it's not even about this game. It's just, can we find something positive that we can take into next game, which is the game for Belarus against Austria.
Kobyershyn wins the draw, controlled. Flip behind the goal line, behind Franzus. As that swung across the ice and chipped in deep as Adam Pulisic will go back to his blue line, collect the puck. Adam backhands it in deep behind the net. Thomas Buchanitz. Buchanitz protecting that puck with his body. He swings it down low behind the goal line. Puck caroms off the back of the net. Back to the blue line, and now a foot race, and Franzus wisely comes out and slings it out of the way of Pavlovich, who is streaking in. Kobyershyn also hunting out that puck as he goes to the far wall to try help in the skates, and eventually controlled by the Czech Republic as we're through 5 minutes here in the second period. Repik spins, fires, and kind of a blind bad pass off the skate and back to Ratko Gudas. The Philadelphia Flyer starts it up ice, dropped off. Faksa winds up, fires, and that's steered aside by Trus as Faksa picks it up. Wanted Cervenka, just kept in nicely by Libor Sulak at the blue line, but then fired down, and Gudas should touch this up racing, and he will.
Pretty good save by Trus there on Faksa. A little transition play. Now we spoke to Yuri Fisher earlier today, GM, former Detroit Red Wing. GM of the Czech Republic team, and he was chuckling at just how incredible Pastrnak and Krejci were last night. But he also said, you know what, a little lighter load tonight, we won't play him so much. I checked the stats for the first period. Krejci almost played 8 minutes. Now I know Nestor Silva was injured, but 24-minute pace is not lightening the load for David Krejci. It's difficult for coaches because it's such a luxury. You know, 88, I want you on the ice, so keep going.
Well, that's like on a scale, right? The expectations are higher, and what he deems is, you know, a little bit of ice time, I guess.
And any forward who plays over 22 minutes, that's a lot. Even as a winger, you're not quite as engaged defensively.
Kavrus brings it with speed behind the goal line. And Sulak meets him, bumps him off the puck. Long stretch pass, Pastrnak nearly had the home run pass just out of his reach. As it swung along the near wall, chipped into neutral ice, and then all the way down, and Gudas again will touch it for another icing.
As Belarus struggles to move the puck up the ice, the icings start to pile up. They just don't present options for the next pass. So it's not so much that they can't handle the pressure, it's that the guys that don't have the puck don't work to get open quickly enough. So the puck holder has no options but to send it down.
Krejci, good job on the draws. He wins it. Czechs controlling. That's swatted high and just kept into the blue line, and it's going to be a hand pass, so Heike can't touch it. And the Belarusians. Yaskin swinging at it, long shot, and Franzus directs that high into the netting, and a stoppage. No scoring in the second period, but the Czechs did the damage in the first. They lead 3-0. It is Friday night hockey at Copenhagen Royal Arena. Brand new building, opened up last year. First time that ice has been put in this facility for a World Hockey Championship, and this its first hockey event. Did some interesting bounces and caroms off the boards, and you talked about the crossovers, Mike. As this puck is played into the near circle, the Czechs on the attack, led by Krejci back up to the point. One-time shot off the side of the net, kicked aside. Picked up by Askin as he flips it to the far wall. The chip and chase into the slot is broken up nicely by Throds, and he works it down the ice. It makes you wonder, Mike, you come over in the crossover, and you're not used to maybe the boards, the ice, and in a quarterfinal that's so huge, maybe you want to stay where you are.
Yeah, there has been some nuances to a new building. Very lively boards, like the old Joe Louis Arena. So that is something that if you've not been here and you don't get to practice on this rink, then that'll be something to deal with. The prominent stanchions, which result in some caroms off the glass, that's a bit different. Something to be wary of.
Pastrnak slot fires, and he whips that high, looking left corner and just missed.
You might want to check him. I mean,
yeah.
That's not the guy just 88. To keep backing up on.
Lock him down. Jordan, the defenseman, back to play it as he starts to play up ice. That was broken up as Kubalik was trying to drive in. Up to Netjas. And just a step offside. You know, David Pastrnak, an interesting story. He was drafted in that first round in 2014, and he lost his father, Milan, just before that, and he kind of looked up to the heavens and pointed during that draft, and that was in Philadelphia. He came back to Philly in his first NHL season, had a great game there, and you can bet somewhere his dad is looking down on this young man, and what a career in the NHL, obviously, and what a performance that he's having in his second World Championship, consecutive anyways. as there's a turnover now here. Kubalik has it, sends that across, back up to the point as they shuffle it around. Jordan, Nechas, send across, Skalenka. Skalenka takes a hard bump. Nechas picks him up though, gets the puck. Swung back up to the point. Long shot, stopped in front, rebounded. Vitaly Trus did his job, and his defenseman clears it and moves it up ice. Viershik sent that pass across, picked off. And the Czechs, a little bit of speed on the move. Shot, nice stop there as Tomasz Haika was hunting high, and Trus got a shoulder on it.
Haika was dancing through the neutral zone, and you give the Czech players a little time and space, and they're going to attack with some skill and keep Vitaly Trus very busy. A shot by Kubalik, knuckles in there. Trus fights it off through the traffic by Haika, and then Haika challenges the pretty short Trus by current goalie standards, just over 6 feet tall, and rings one off his shoulder.
Face off to the right of Trus, controlled by the Czechs. Hit the linesman in the skates, so a nice break for the Belarusians. Move it up ice as Gavrus was hoping to get that pass. He was on the move towards the net. Gavrus gets it back up to the point. Denisov on point and steered into the corner. Nice job from Denisov as he fired that into a dangerous area. And the Belarusians finally on net, kick save, rebound in front. Oh, and just spinning and missing was Gavrus again, having a good shift as Francouz made the initial save, and that was fired wide. Gavrus, again, unable to keep it in all the way down the ice, and that should be icing, and is, so the face-off to come to the Czech Republic zone, and finally, a little bit of offensive zone time here for the Belarusians.
Just give them a chance to breathe. I've been in games like this where you're kind of overmatched, and you just want to have a chance to play in the offensive zone where you're not under rest, have some fun, be creative. And Belarus will get a temporary reprieve there.
Kitterov to take the draw, fourth line out, Levsha and Throds. Kitterov tries to work it to Levsha, it does. Levsha drops that off. Throds tries to drive out in front and gets knocked down. Can't get a good chance as Roman Horak, he's tripped up. Turnover from the near circle, shot on point, rebound in front. As Kitterov, what a look from the near circle. And Francouz, that was a great stop. So sloppy turnover, and the Belarusians, some good work on their own. Couple chances.
Can you maintain your focus in a game that you're dominating for 60 minutes? It's a challenge. And the Czechs are drifting a little bit right now in the second period. Haven't had the same crispness to their game.
All the way down the ice and icing as Roby will touch that up.
And here you see puck. You talk about that bad ice. There it is exactly. Horak skating. The puck for some reason bounces up and over a stick, slows down, and Kitterov is right there to test Francouz.
Sharangovich taking the draw with Faksa. Faksa waved out to the captain. Cervenka steps in. Cervenka controls. Gudas picks it up with the near wall, and Ratko Gudas moving it up ice. Hits Cervenka. Cervenka waits, fires, and tried to look off with the pass in front. And that shot off the stick and behind the net. Cervenka picks it up. Pasternak behind the net. Oh, what a move. Pasternak to himself. That was similar to that OT winner, wasn't it, where he kind of fired it behind the goal line, off the netminder and in. Sharangovich couldn't pick that up, and Faksa brings it in offside. So the Czech Republic still leads here in the second period. So like Copenhagen, Denmark, surrounding area of Copenhagen, about 1.3 million. 15 Michelin restaurants in the area. Did you check any out when I was gone?
I was waiting for you to get back because you're the one getting the reservations and the check.
Okay, well, I got the Czech Republic for you tonight, free of charge. The actual Czech, we'll see. But it's such a cool city, very clean. There's more bikes than people in this city. The restaurant's fantastic. We hit a couple good ones before the tournament got going, and it's just been a great atmosphere for World Championship.
Yeah, that's really embraced it. And the success of Denmark and herring has added to the interest level here in Copenhagen. As the Czech fans are in full throttle right now.
Krejci waved out of the circle. Heike takes it, loses it. Slung around to the far wall, right in front of the Czech Republic bench. As Koviarshin driving towards the corner. Can't get there in time as the Czechs pick it up. Gaskin has it. Gaskin over the blue line. He's bumped off the puck to the trailer. Oh, and the dish pass back, and they couldn't get a shot off. Nice job by Heike. But he couldn't get that pass back and then get a shot off as Gaskin chips at Krejci. Heike. Krejci working the near wall. Good work with his stick to keep that puck. Krejci working one-on-one, eventually has it picked up by Pavlovich, the captain. He says enough of that and swats it off his stick. Pretty nice mitts in tight, David Krejci, when he decides to start working.
You're not supposed to be able to stick handle around people while standing still. He just did it for about 7 seconds.
Krejci still on the ice as it's swung all the way down, and Jordan will pick it up to Repik. Moved up quickly, stretch pass, and that was Netjas coming on and couldn't get a good opportunity, and here comes the Belarusians. That shot, oh, that might have hit the side of the bar.
I think that hit the post short side on Francouz.
Gavrus, he's been the best player for the Belarusians. Couple good looks in tight as Artur Gavrus nailed the bar behind Francouz. Netjas in his own zone, starts it up ice, little give, little go. Netjas over the blue line, he's gonna drop it off and go into the corner. As Kubalik got it up top, Rekit swings it across the ice. Long shot knocked down in front as Repik and company couldn't keep it in the zone. And again, the Belarusians on the move as Levsha will chip and chase. Francouz out to play it as Levsha's behind him. And the Czechs are able to move it up quickly. Here's Pasternak over the blue line. Slings that across to the far circle. Borak has a goal in this hockey game. Behind the net, Pasternak in front, but wrong jersey there. And it's directed out of the crease area and moved up ice as Throds tried a little spin move, get around his man. He got tangled up. Him and Jakub Tricek, the defenseman. Under 7 minutes to go in the second period. All the offense so far in the first 20 minutes. Skitteroff, oh, he gets hauled down there on the far wall. Play continues as Pasternak tries to chip it along the boards. That's picked off. The drag move there from Demkov didn't work. Demkov to Platt. Jeff Platt passes off in front of the net. Platt looking for that tip, and it didn't get through as Jeff Platt speeding around in the offensive zone. Some good work from the young man from Toronto, Ontario.
Talk about Gavrus being the most dangerous Belarusian player, as Netjas could almost be in if he can handle this cleanly. He doesn't, and it's a quick transition, 3-on-1, and he elects to keep this head up. And beats Francouz by quite a margin. Francouz's glove wasn't even that close to that puck. As we talk about the challenge of maintaining your focus for a full 60 minutes. Goes to the goaltender as well when he's been as quiet as Francouz has had to be for stretches in this game.
And Polasek doesn't like what he sees, so he's going to reset behind his goalie Francouz and start up one more time. As the Czechs chip it in, Chervenka giving chase with Faksa behind him. Kept in at the far wall. And the Belarusians just able to get it out of the zone. Back into neutral ice territory, and again brought back in. Pass in front from Faksa off the skate behind the net. to the far wall. Libor Sulak, who opened the scoring on the power play. The blue liner now in deep, battling for the puck. Sulak had it briefly, knocked off his stick, and again, Koviershin has it for Belarus. As Koviershin driving, gets hauled down behind the net. Play continues as Ratko Gudas collects the puck behind his own goal line. Bouncing puck. Back to the captain, Alexander Pavlovich. 250 career games in the KHL. And leading his Belarusian side here at this World Championship. Play to the right of Franzus. Under 5 minutes to go. Belarusians still unable to score. Only 4 goals total in the tournament coming into this hockey game. 2 of them on the power play. Ratko Gudas, head up. Moves the puck up ice, little backhand in front. As Yaskin tried to get it into a dangerous area. And the Belarusians send it down the ice. And they want it to change, but they cannot, as that is icing, so the play will stay here at a much different pace, Mike, to the second period.
Slow down, and the Czechs have stopped pushing up 3, and Belarus is playing their game, trying to find answers, but at least Josef Jandac has decided to just lighten the load on David Pasternak, as now he's just kind of rotating the 3 right wingers through, not doubling any one player up, just letting everyone play on every different line.
Shots make 9-4 in favor of the Czech Republic in this period. And Kitteroff's not happy. He's going to let the referee know about it. Czechs control, big shot that's high and whistled wide past everything as Cheek let that go.
Maybe the one where I go to screen that, give a dirty look back to my defenseman for drifting one in that high.
A lot of heat on that. As Yaskin, far wall, works that down low. All the way up to the blue line and then out of the zone. As the Czechs will have to check up. That was Repik was dangling. One dangle too many. He brings that out of the zone. They start one more time. Krejci tries to tuck that in short side, but Truce will cover up. 3-0. Czech Republic leading here at Royal Arena. Welcome back to Copenhagen. Through the first 5 days, 200,000 fans in both Herning and Copenhagen. And those numbers will obviously increase as we're now fully into a week of the IIHF World Hockey Championship. As the Czechs control off the turnover, Skalenka wanted Netjas, who fell awkwardly on the near wall as him and Cherigovich were battling. Turnover, Netjas cruising towards the front of the net, but it's the Belarusians that have it. And the speedy Jeff Platt trying to break in. Platt backhands it behind the net. Moved up ice and led by David Pasternak. With Netjas, 2 dynamic young players out together for the Czech Republic.
That's the part about Pasternak you forget. He's just 21 years old. He's kind of rounding into his NHL career.
Netjas
draws a penalty on Belarus. And it's going to be Demkov for the hook in the neutral zone.
Team Belarus number 15, 2 minutes. Okay.
98 and 88 and white flying around out there. Sometimes you got to put a hook on them, and Netjas picks up the puck in the neutral zone. Demkov looking to support, and the can opener into the hands. Absolutely a hook. Czech Republic get to work on their power play again.
Mike, Netchas won the Ivan Olenka Memorial in 2016, the first time the Czechs ever won gold. That's always hosted in their country. Well, the first time now in Edmonton this summer, it's going to be the Gretzky Halinka. And so you get to see a lot of the best on best, kind of that under 18 age group. So exciting for Alberta hockey fans to check that out.
Not different for Canadians because they'll have their best players available, which is not always the case in the springtime under 18 tournament.
Which we just covered in Russia. And Chelyabinsk and Magnitogorsk on TSN and NHL Network. So, David Krejci on the power play, near circle, slings that across, bouncing puck, and his Bruins teammate, Pasternak. At the far wall, Aika in front, Pasternak. Back up to the point, Hronek. Krejci fires, didn't get through, bouncing puck controlled by Belarus and fired down the ice. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the second period. As the Czech Republic will set up one more time. Pasternak, far circle. Slings that across, bouncing puck. David Krejci has to skate back to the blue line. Bouncing puck, Krejci in the vicinity, swung back up to the blue line. Hronek, one-time shot is Pasternak. It's gonna change off, he'll be frustrated, didn't get to go where he wanted to. They keep buzzing, tipped in front, and nice job from Krejci. His tip, though, goes behind the net with 40 seconds to go, the man advantage. Now it's Cervenka out there. Plays give and go, gets the pass back. Cervenka. Near circle, still on his stick. Up top, shot. That's just missed. Hronek let it go. Cervenka, Filip Hronek. They're changing on the fly on this power play as the Czechs, tons of pressure. They're making it look.
You know what? That's unselfish too, though, because you rarely do that when you have full control. Not that tired, but letting the second unit get out there, that's nice.
Sulak, Cervenka goes down low, in tight. The Faksa attempt broken up. Cervenka, Sulak, one-time shot, and that's whistled wide, and penalty comes to an end. So the Belarusians with a nice kill. Cervenka to Faksa, sends it across. Cervenka fires, rebound. Oh, it's tight. How close was that? But Vitaly Trus shutting the door just in time. Oh, Netchas, real good look for the young man. That pass intended for Netchas. He's going off for a change, bouncing puck. Ratko Gudas, got to be careful with the speedy Jeff Platt. Right in that area, Platt still battling for it. Gudas swings at it. Back to the blue line. Roby chips at it. Platt, tough angle, fires right on point, and Platt gets hammered by Gudas, and he's not happy. He wants to hit something. No scoring in the second frame. And a few more looks, Mike Johnson, and a couple good chances.
Right on top of the goal line. That just actually hits the post on the short side and then bounces it in to the pad of Trus, but Trus gets there at a time to keep the Czechs off the board in the second.
Bob Barry, Mark Rower standing by with your remission. The Czech Republic with a 3-0 lead here at Royal Arena.
It's the shading channel that matters. Million Ultra Glide technology for an ultra close shade without irritating your skin. Million, the art of shade. Introducing the 2018 IIHF Player Statistics. Team statistics. The City Canada.
Welcome back inside Royal Arena. Friday in Copenhagen, and Pavel Francouz has been perfect thus far. Czech Republic, no scoring in that second period, all the scoring in the first. They lead 3-0. And you talk about, you know, slowing down ice times, Mike Johnson. So
yeah.
I checked here. David Pasternak, 16 minutes, 31 seconds. David Krejci, 14 minutes, 18 seconds. Not just the most of pretty much everybody, but the most on both teams.
So Pasternak played 7:51 of the first, and he decided to up that to 8:40 of the second.
Yeah.
That plays for 25 minutes as a forward, even with the unfortunate injury to Nestrasil. That's too much.
Well, he's 21, right? He turns 22 later on this month. He's 21.
Yeah.
Pointless for Pasternak so far in this game. Krejci did pick up an assist in the game's opening goal. So off to a torrid pace, both those players. Obviously a massive game last night if you're just joining our coverage against Russia. Handing the Russians their first loss as Thomas Pakanits swings it in front off the skates and back to him as Pakanits tried to work that. So Horak bounces over Horak's stick along to the far wall, and Robov tried to get it out, can't. Pakanits drop pass. Bouncing puck. Nice work early here, the opening minute for the Czech Republic, and a 3-0 advantage. As the Czechs trying to put the Raps on a very strong hockey game. They've really dominated the flow. Speaking of flow, Libor Sulak taking his man down behind the net. Arguably the best hair in the Czech Republic.
That's it fly. And he goes up and down the ice there.
You called my boy Manavion, the big beard. He
Yeah.
didn't shave it, did he? Since I was back, he didn't shave it.
He's still kicking it.
I love it. Big blue liner for France, and they won today. Did they not earlier today? Yourself and Ryan Rashad with the call.
They did. So they'll be through. They'll be alive into next year's tournament. They will not get a quarterfinal spot, but they'll be safely assured passage into the main championship next year, which is what Belarus is hoping to achieve as well. It's not going to be tonight, going up against the Czech Republic, but their next game against Austria is the one that will determine their fate.
And that is a big one. We'll have 3 games for you on TSN NHL Network from Royal Arena. And Belarus-Austria, one of those games that we'll have. From Group A play, as that's fired down the ice right on Pavel Francouz, and a good chance to talk about the goaltending situation for the Czechs, because David Riddick was the guy who beat Russia.
Yeah.
He's been strong, but Francouz seems to be the guy. How do you see it playing out?
The fact that they gave Riddick the game against Russia might make you believe that they are leaning towards him, but Francouz is the guy who's the Olympic goaltender. Now Riddick wasn't available, but
drive here from behind the net, bouncing puck, and unable to get a shot off was Razadovsky. Buzzing, gets it behind the net. Razadovsky drives towards the front of the crease as they continue to cycle. Falkovsky, the big defenseman. And that was, I was just going to say, I thought that was brought out, and it was, so they'll call it down.
You can see it from up here. That's not even close, so Borobier couldn't quite hold it. But I think it will be Francouz to start the quarterfinal over Riddick. I don't know if we'll learn much more about the Czech goaltenders as they play France and Austria next, so probably nothing that would be enough to sway the coach's mind one way or the other, whatever they're thinking now.
Riddick, 21 games with the Flames this year, backing up Mike Smith, and Francouz plays for Chelyabinsk in the KHL as the Czechs on the move in the offensive zone. Repik spinning away from his man, swings it, bounces, and then he's taken down. No call, play continues, or was there a call? Yes. Trip behind the play.
Tarov thought he was going to get away for it for a minute,
Okay.
but when everyone on the ice turns around and checks the referee's arm, there's probably a good chance that a hook took place there on 77, reaching out. Another one where it's caught on the wrong side of the puck. So often in this tournament, Belarus gets caught on the wrong side of the puck on their own end. They're on the outside, they're nearer to the boards, and when they lose a battle, they lose body position, and then the chase is on.
So power play time once again for the Czech Republic. Krejci to take the draw. He's been dynamite on the face-off circle so far for the Czechs. obviously limited in only his second game, but he's won a lot. So Krejci in the near circle. Fans on the shot. Jaskin diving behind the net, gets back up and slings it around to Pasternak. Pasternak backhands it back to the blue line. Krejci in front, shot just tipped wide as Dmitry Jaskin was parked right in front, and that pass has Franzus out to touch it up, and he'll play it back for Krejci.
Hronek is not shy about shooting it. With all the other options out there, he just got a stick in the air and he wants to put it to the net.
Krejci picks off and a little bit of space shorthanded. Kisley was streaking in, but Franzus calmly plays it up ice as Pasternak's on the move, chips it off and sets up in the near circle. Pasternak has it one more time. Krejci wanted to tee him up. Krejci's got it again. Far circle. Jaskin. Krejci sends it across. Weak shot. Really nothing on that from Hronek. Continues to battle. Eventually the battle won by the Belarusians and fired down the ice.
That puck skipped on Hronek at the last second. Almost went underneath his, over top of his blade.
So 31 seconds go. This man advantage as Cervenka starts to play up ice, and Netchas, oh, he can lead with that puck, can he? As Kubalik was knocked off the puck and it comes out of the zone. How did Russia play against the Czechs?
Sluggish in the first, but in the second and third, they were the better team. They had to run a play. They had no answer for Pasternak and Krejci. And it's hard to say how they played because they were so dominant the first few games. You don't even know what they'd be like when they're tested with a good opposition, a good opponent.
Netchas in front, tipped and just wide. Goes behind the net as the penalty comes to an end. So the Belarusians actually pretty good job with the penalty kill. They allowed that power play goal in the first period. But since then, doing a nice job. They want to keep doing a nice job of that, obviously, as the captain, Pavlovich, step offside. And his fourth World Championship with Belarusian. Last year, he led his side in scoring at 4 goals and 6 points and was a top 3 player on the team.
The best parts about the World Championship is the way the fans co-mingle with each other. Everyone wearing their country's jerseys, face painted, having a good time, but all in good fun. All supporting each other, even games that get a little lopsided on occasion.
Amazing, too, how many of the youngsters and the young hockey fans watch, you know, the NHL back home and recognize some of the broadcasters, and they follow it. The North American hockey, follow their players as well. As Buchanan's one of those players, most recently with the Toronto Maple Leafs, had it hop over his stick. Long time player of the Montreal Canadiens. Back pass in front, another attempt to sling it in front is Maxim Shushko. The young man trying to get something offensively going. There's a collision behind the play as Shushko moves it up ice for the Belarusians. Up to Kovalyushin to the far wall. Shot down low, Shushko takes a bump from Ratko Gudas. Soon to be teammates. And look out the other way, backhand, stopped by Truce. The speed of Jaskin again. Centering pass in front, that shot high and deflects into the netting for a stoppage. Jaskin some good speed, and the captain Cervenka with a chance as well.
Stretching it out, Jaskin sneaks in behind, and Truce given that short side shelf, even though Jaskin was falling away from the center of the ice, you think you want to stay upright and not give him the short side. And Jaskin almost gets it up and under the bar. I wonder if Jaskin's a guy who can parlay a good World Championship into a more confident and productive season with St. Louis next year. Because you see he's got the tools. Just hasn't really produced with much consistency with the Blues.
Well, playing with Krejci, Pasternak can't hurt your confidence.
No, but it also maybe opens St. Louis's eyes that if we play him with better players in a different role, he can do the job as well.
Ratko Gudas played it up ice. That's picked off and fired back in. As Demkov tried to fire it in, continues to work. And the Czechs have it. And they have the wave going now in Royal Arena. Royal, by the way, is a beer company that sponsors the facility. Centering pass in front, back door, and racing in was Jordan for the blue line. Couldn't get a shot off. Bouncing puck for Pasternak, and it was right in the crease. He couldn't settle it down. I could barely say it out loud, so we both sort of stumbled. As Pasternak, when you're a good player, that puck seems to bounce and find your stick, and there's one of those weird bounces at Royal Arena behind the net. Belarusians looking to capitalize. Razadovsky driving behind the net. As Razadovsky will chip it. Battle continues. Out in front. Pass. Oh, the one-timer, and it was wide open. Razadovsky, though, couldn't get the shot off. And look out the other way. Kubalik's in. Fires, and he whistles that wide as Kubalik had a step on his man. Tough thing with the Belarusians, we talked about the lack of goals, just 4. Just no natural finishers that can seem to get the job done. As Fikalski was roughed up, a big 6'7" defenseman, spent some time in the OHL with Ottawa, and now the AHL, part of the Kings organization, signed to an AHL deal. Back to the point, shot, tipped it. Again, Franzus made the stop. Levsha with a nice tip in front, and Czech's able to change behind the play. It's chipped behind the net. Sutenko moves it up ice, but it's kept in by the Czech Republic. Yaskin working down low. Yaskin behind the goal line, 1-on-2. As the 23s are battling, Sutenko and Yaskin trying to come away with it. Chipped, and eventually to neutral ice territory for Kanitz. Little backhand to move it back up ice. Skalinka couldn't handle that. Lisovits pokes it ahead. Tough angle shot. Lets it go. Lisovits does not have an answer, though, for Pavel Franzus, who makes the stop in a 3-0 lead for the Czechs. Welcome back to Royal Arena. All the scoring in the first period. Libor Sulak, Roman Horak, and Michael Repik. Your goal scorers. As the Belarusians control off the face-off, Netchas. And the Czech Republic takes a big bump from behind. Pavlovic, the captain, back to the point, long shot. And again, Pavel Franzus. Not the busier goalie, but it's made some nice stops.
Well, to put it in your terms, Brian, we know how much you like golf. Franzus with that .946 save percentage in the KHL this year, he's not afraid to go low. So when he gets a good game and he's got shutout going on, he wants to close it out. He wants to focus in. He wants to finish the task. He doesn't want any cheapies, doesn't want any lapses in concentration. That's a great quality for a goaltender to have.
Plays for Tractor in Chelyabinsk in the KHL. Tractor Arena. Really nice facility, actually. A lot of the KHL buildings are brand new, is flat or fairly new, at least in the last 10 years or so. One of the mandates for Russian hockey to have the KHL. The entertainment value up, great buildings. One thing I noticed too in Russia, Mike, and being over there for the under-18s is just the young fan base, how young the average fan was there and how much fun they're having in the building, and it's a great atmosphere. So we approach the midway point of this third period. Sharon Govich was chasing, as was Platt. As the Czechs tip it up ice, Horak, the last Czech to touch it. He goes off for a change. The Belarusians changing as well. Sutenko. Gisli, little weak backhand, gets the job done into the Czech zone and backhanded again into neutral ice. Razwadowski, who's had some good looks. Backhand, bouncing puck as Razwadowski tried to drive it towards the front of the net. Again, Franzus to stop. Play continues, swung across as Krejci was looking for Pasternak. Krejci absorbs the hit. Hustling back to Skalenka. That shot high, and nice job from Pavel Franzus, who saw it, decides to glove it down for a face-off in the Czech Republic zone. Mike, I'm scared to update the USA-Korea game because every time I get the updated score, I look down and it's changed. It's now 10-1 United States. Long shot there from the blue line, didn't get through. Tip to the left of Franzus, who's been sharp. Picked up by Drugs. They'll work it down behind the net. Belarusians, they'd love a goal going into tomorrow, that game against Austria. They only have 4 all tournament. Drugs slings it behind the net. Levsha lets that go. Hit her off. Levsha. Levsha tries to swing it out. Has it knocked off his stick, and it's worked up ice by Kubalik. Kubalik drops it off in front, and the pass from Faksa is broken up. So that USA game over in Hennerning. Hometown of Freddie Anderson, Jannik Hansen, Frans Nielsen, all from Hennerning. So a pretty proud moment for Toronto Maple Leaf goalie Freddie Anderson.
Really neat for him. And for Korea, yes, it's awful losing 10-1, 7-0. But think of how far they've come. They earned their way in this tournament. It's not like the Olympics, where they were given a spot because they were hosting. They earned their way into this tournament. They've got a ways to go, but they've also come a long way in a short period of time to even be in this tournament.
Cheek spins and fires into the near wall. Cervenka gets that in deep. Cervenka on the move, gets it back. Nice move, fires, and it's knocked off his stick as the captain, Roman Cervenka, had a pretty good look in the slot, but it was knocked off his stick at the last second. Aronik settles that down for Cheek. Czechs changing behind the play, but they're moving up ice. Drop pass, Netjas, little drag move. Centering pass, was looking for Cervenka all the way back door, but it was broken up with just over 8 minutes to go here in this third period. Czech Republic, no medals since 2012. They went gold in Germany back in 2010, and big hit there on the far wall right in front of the Belarusian side.
You notice Falkowski put Horak into the dasher, but that's the rounded glass, which is not nearly as hard on the body as the solid stanchion when that was in play a few years ago. I don't remember Max Pacioretty, terrible hit he took against Boston Bruins, rattling off that, so they rounded those off, softened them up. So Horak can keep playing after a hit like that without much trouble.
Jaskin, some good stick work to get it to Slanika at the far wall. Sharangovich lost his stick, but he continues to work defensively, pinning his man, Jaskin. It's kind of one of those like gritty, speedy players. Jaskin just in the mix, works hard. Good guy to have with Pasternak and Krejci. As Krejci, blue line, hesitates, head up, still looking, down low, and that misses just wide. Jaskin picks it up. It feels like a power play, it's not. As Jaskin continues to work, Czechs changing behind the play. David Krejci. Fakes the drop pass, back up to the point. Skalinka.
Inevitable penalty coming up to Belarus after this much time.
Backdoor in front. Oh, what a stop from Truce. Tomasz Haika, backdoor and Truce. I'm not going to say a game saver, but heck of a save.
What a dish from Pasternak.
23, 2 minutes, high stick.
Gavrus into the box there. There's our Ustanenko going to the box. After a high stick there, skates through, catches Pasternak. Careless once again. And how about the pass here for Pasternak? Oh, that's a zip right to Haika. And he's got Cruz beat 5-hole, but he can't find the gap. So the Czechs go to the power play again. Something to work on. It's not about the result of this game, but something to work on for the games coming up.
Nikita Ustanenko in the box. Just over 6 minutes to go in the game. So the Czech Republic another chance to work the power play as Netchas can't keep it in. So Martin Netchas. Drop pass for Libor Sulak, who has a power play goal. Sulak wanted Netchas. That's broken up. Cervenka's back on the puck for the Czech Republic as he assesses the situation. Through middle ice. Faksa has it. Near wall. Sulak. He swings that across. Netchas spins around, back up to the point. Sulak, Cervenka sends it down low. Cervenka back to Netchas. Faksa parked in front. Cervenka, Netchas waiting, fires, and that might have hit Faksa in front. Didn't get through. No, that hit number 7, who's down. That was Denisov, who took it for the team literally, and he's slow to get up and get off the ice.
A little help from Korobov to shovel Denisov off the ice.
Can you get those shovelers that come out and just push him off? Give a guy
some debris on the ice here. Number 89.
That's brought in, I believe, offside is the call. There's still some broken stick there behind. Truce is getting a look.
Denisov shaking off his hand. A shot from Netchas. Right in the top of the right wrist. Wrist, you see him. Some ice on it right away. We'll see how that will feel and swell up for tomorrow.
What is that spray stuff you sometimes see them use? They'll spray it.
Instant numbing spray.
Yeah.
So
does that work? Must.
It instantly numbs the area. So as advertised, it doesn't heal it. That's the thing. Give me the magic spray like somehow it's gonna make it go away. It's just you don't feel it for a little while.
I've been using that as hairspray for a while.
Yeah. Off the inside of his left hand. That hurts. The problem is when he goes to play tomorrow, on a swollen hand, it'll hurt to grab his stick and use his hands, and so that'll be difficult to play tomorrow. There was a quick little meeting at the penalty box. Sure what all is. You see number 25, Roman Goffman, a Russian official. Number 63, Lukas Kohlmüller, German linesman over there having a little chat with the head coach for Belarus. Has to go explain it now to the Czech Republic. That's exactly what the issue was.
So Mike, if they speak the language, if you ask in Russian, can you get the answer in Russian, or is it English all the time on the ice?
It's almost always in English because it's the universal language of hockey.
Right.
And if you're having a conversation with a referee, you want it in Russian. I can't understand Russian, so you have to have it in a language we both can kind of understand, even if it's not our first language. Now, maybe at the bench, if the coach wants it in Russian and the referee's Russian, then he can get it in that language. But when it's a communal conversation, you have to do it in the language that everyone will be able to understand.
I read Dave King's book when we went over to coach of the KHL, the first guy from North America to go over, and I can only imagine, when he wrote about in his book, like the difficulties with the language barrier. You're trying to coach guys.
Well, listen, I went to play in Sweden in 04 in Rinnelanka. I walked in the first game. Coach went up to do his little chalk talk, and he proceeded to talk for 12 minutes in Swedish.
What'd you learn?
Exactly. Nothing.
And all these years later, you just did Swedish TV earlier today, so
Yeah.
see it paid off for you.
Yes, I didn't say one word except for top.
David Krejci, here's circle, power play time, in front, shot stop, Jaskin. Boy, is he getting some looks, and they're putting it right on his tape. Jaskin the shot, but a nice stop from Vitaly Trus.
Economic, the score between the United States and South Korea is 11-1.
Mike, during the TV timeout, we saw Vladimir Denisov. He actually skated off in his 10th World Championship for Belarus. 2 seasons in the AHL, over 350 KHL games. Obviously not good enough to go after taking that shot.
No, and no point hanging in there now. Might as well get an X-ray or whatever treatment, because they got to play tomorrow against Austria. The game of their tournament. Stay in the Premier Division, Division 1.
As Horak drops it off behind the net. Under 5 minutes to go in this third period. Repik, sweet move between the skates. Little backhand pass. Krejci. Mechanics fires, tip right on the money, and stopped by Trus in front. A nice tip in front as Repik's checking the lumber.
Yeah, he tipped that one up in the middle of his shaft, so he wants to make sure that it's not going to break. Again, it wheels it in, and there you see a great look at it. Tough to control the exact trajectory of that tip. You're just trying to get a piece of it and go back against the grain, but for whatever reason, Trus stayed pretty tight. Not a lot of room in the 5-hole. It wasn't too stretched out. Repik scored a nice one earlier over the glove. Looking for a second.
Face-off controlled, long shot. Trus, that might have missed entirely, but Trus is going to glove it down. And considering he came in, I mean, one body of work, one game against Russia, tough game. Goals against him 6. They got to play again tomorrow. I don't know if they'll go back to Trus, but he's actually been pretty good.
Based on performance, I think he deserves to go. The only question is fatigue, because this game's going to end at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I think they're the middle game tomorrow, which is 4 o'clock. It's a quick turnaround.
Morvachik, bouncing puck. Trus found it and squeezed it again. Dmitry Jaskin right there near the crease.
And I know in the NHL, the numbers bear out you should not start goaltenders on back-to-back days, but with no travel here and everything else that's going on, that makes the World Championships unique. Perhaps they go that route, looking for one miracle performance to keep them in the Division 1 pool.
Speaking of miracles, Korea did open the scoring against the United States.
Oh boy.
It was 1-0 for a while.
They snuck up on a quick 12-0 run.
Yeah, it's a 12-0 run, but history though, as Jin Hyun-yan became the first Korean player, as that shot is stopped by Trus in tight.
Korean-born player.
Korean-born player, thank you, to score at the World Championships, because Michael Swift, who's from Peterborough, Ontario, got the first goal. Brock Radunsky's from Kitchener, Ontario. So, Korean-born player, congratulations.
Well done.
Yeah, Jin Hyun-yan.
And you know what? It's baby steps. Now, it seems like they are so far away from the rest of the countries in this tournament, and they are. But again, how far they've come to get here and where they're headed has got to leave them positive about the future of hockey in Korea.
Jordan from the point. That shot hits the stick. Behind that, in front, Cervenka fires right through the creases. Roman Cervenka nearly made it 4-0. He's got it again behind the net. The one-time Calgary Flame. Cervenka whips it back in, nearly brought it in offside, but it was all good. Belarusians move it up ice, and you could just see the body language on the Belarusians, led by their captain, Alexander Pavlovich. Just frustrated, and rightfully so, but a tough game.
Well, it's exhausting playing in your own end all the time and being on your heels and dominated and losing and firing your coach in the middle of the tournament and all these different things. They start adding up, and you wonder, are we ever going to get a break? Are we ever going to get a win? And they also know what will happen if they don't. Boyd McLamberg, Division 1A experience that they have right now in Copenhagen.
Thomas Patanitz taking that drop for the Czech Republic, controlled by the Belarusians. What do you think happens with Patanitz next year?
Well, he's got 998 games, so he's got to go somewhere for a couple.
Get the stick.
He's made it very clear that he wants to go back to Montreal. He's made no bones about it. I think Montreal, depending on what else happens this summer, because they have a ton of money and cap space available, I think they might be looking at being a major player in the free agent pool. Maybe there's someone who once played in Long Island and Brooklyn that they have their eye on in John Tavares. But I think on a one-year deal, he's probably a better option. Now, he's not a top 6 forward by any stretch, and he might not even be a third-line center, but he's a shot suppressor. He's a good defensive player. He's got good relative numbers to the rest of his teammates. He can play in a lesser role, and I think maybe one more year in Montreal. Get the 1,000 games and go out of Montreal Canadiens.
Under 2 minutes to go in this third period. All 3 goals coming in the opening 20 minutes. Truce will cover that up, and right behind Truce, you see the fan base pretty excited. The Czech Republic, they're getting their money's worth tonight at Royal Arena on a Friday night.
Oh, it's great. Jumping the entire ring of fans. Look at that. Going strong, 2.5 hours in. It really is something. Dressed up, flags, jerseys, face painting, coordinated cheers.
Right off the draw, Cervenka fires, knocked down. As Volkovsky, his big body, got in front of it. Volkovsky tries to backhand along the boards. Cervenka accepts the pass to the blue line. He brings it in, puts on the brakes. Head up, Cervenka passes off, bouncing puck as Netjas wanted it. Minute 30 to go. Battle continues. The speed of Netjas goes to the forehand. Slings it back up to the blue line. Ratko Gudas fires. And that just missed the mark. As Heiko was in front, and it comes all the way down the ice. And that should be icing, so the Belarusians unable to change. You talk about the fans, Mike. The one thing I won't miss about Herning, and I love that city, 50,000 people, the Latvian drums. My ears are still ringing, and I was only there for, what, 4 days. The Latvians, they love their drums, and they bang it out, man. They bang it out hard.
They represent well. They don't travel the biggest numbers, but they might have the most fun and make the most noise during the game. And their team's giving them something to cheer about. And they are right in the mix for that 4th quarterfinal spot.
They gave the United States a great run.
In overtime.
That was a good game. I was in the building for that game, hence the drumming. Repik sends it across to the far blue line. High flip shot behind. Truce stays in play. Dordan, one-time shot, and that missed by about 20 feet or so. Deflected and into the far glass. Under a minute to go. Verobi over the blue line for the Belarusians. Verobi waits in front, slings it, bouncing puck, rebound, another shot. One more time, Verobi again, right through the crease, and what a flurry. Brazadovsky snake bitten in this hockey game, and Verobi from the blue line nearly finally got one by Pavel Franzus. So the Belarusians not going quietly. The chip and chase is on. Gavrus, big bump behind the nets. It's Gavrus. Goes to the front of the net. That's picked off, though, neatly. As the final seconds will tick down. And the crowd appreciating the effort of the Czech Republic and the shutout from Pavel Franzus.
Well, the Czechs got through the difficult part of their schedule. Now they play some of the softer teams down the stretch. Wasn't pretty, wasn't perfect, but it was enough for a comfortable 3-0 win and set themselves up for a guaranteed quarterfinal berth, and maybe better than that.
Franzus, a 227 goals against average in Pyeongchang at the Olympics, and he has been dynamite for his team here at the Worlds in Denmark. Good night from Copenhagen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best players of each team will be awarded with the official watch from Tissot, official timekeeper of the 2018 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. The prizes will be presented by Stanislav Pikovsky, General Manager of Belarus, and Adam Stais, IIHF Communication. And the best player of Team Belarus is number 79, Vitaly Trus. And the best player of Team Czech Republic is number 60, Mikhail Moracek. And ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Czech Republic. The 2018 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship will continue in Royal Arena tomorrow at 4:15 with a game between Team Slovakia and Team Sweden. Get your official merchandise today. Don't forget to visit the 88 merchandise tent in the fan zone. And don't forget to get your tickets for tomorrow's game. Tickets can be bought at Ticketmaster's box office
Mikhail, is it hard to maintain focus when you dominate a game like that?
Yeah, it was a little bit hard. Like we have some chances, but we didn't shoot enough. We were playing in their zone, but mostly in the corners. And it's hard. It's hard, but end of the day, after the 4 tough games, it's actually nice to control the game and relax a little bit.
In the second period, did you change your system to play more defensively and laid back to get some rest?
No, I don't think so. But it's just how the game goes. We scored 3 goals in the first period, and then we slow down a little bit and focus to the defense a little bit. But we want to score more goals, but didn't happen. But we were controlling the game.
How confident is the team right now?
Well, I mean, we are confident. After yesterday match against Russia, it was a huge game for us, and we got a couple new guys who helped us a lot yesterday, and hopefully we will continue and play better and better.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The tournament obviously not going the way you would all like, but what have you been learning every game you all play?
It's great teams. Everybody is playing good and hard. So, yeah, we have to win again. That's it. We have to run our game 60 minutes, and that's it. We have to win. We have to score more goals.
Next game is against Austria. What's it going to take to be able to get that win against them?
Work hard every shift, win every battles, make shots, score goals. We didn't score. We didn't score enough. That's it.
Best of luck the rest of the way.